Hello. Sorry. I was in the middle of my dinner. I couldn't actually work out again how to go live on the laptop. So thought that I'd be really smart and go live on the phone in the garden. And yeah, and I keep getting attacked every time I go in the house by the bird. So I couldn't get to my laptop. So I had to go and use one of my other phones and go and share it round. So yeah, hey, how you doing? It's 7 o'clock on no, it's nearly 8 o'clock actually on a Thursday night. We have some really good weather, as you can see. It's actually quite beautiful out there. That is the view that I've got. Sun is absolutely amazing. Amazing. And I thought it would make a really nice difference to do it in the in the garden for a change. So, you know, beats the car, that's for sure. I'm going to have to get to grips with this laptop thing though, because, you know, this is going to kill my arm. Really going to kill my arm holding onto it. But when we go back in, you are guaranteed that I'm going to have one Zerp sitting on my shoulder. So, what's happening in the UK? Still on lockdown. Still not allowed to sort of go out officially to go for even walks anymore. Technically, we are housebound. I still have to go into work every now and then to pick up things like post. So it's I still have to leave the house from time to time, and I'm still doing the shopping for people. Really not feeling any sort of stress about the lockdown at all. I'm used to living on my own, but I'm feeling it from sort of people within the community. There's a frustration that's building there. So messages going out. Yeah, Billy, still on stay-at-home order in the USA. Yeah, it's and I think it's going to be for a while yet. I don't know if any of you follow Cliff High, but I was watching him today, and he's been saying for a while that this isn't just a virus. And he's the man that made the AI that actually trawls the web, dark and light, and basically he has algorithms where it picks up on trends and things like that, and he can call it before it happens, and he's absolutely unequivocally certain that this is a man-made thing, that this isn't a virus that can be beaten. This is a weapon. Protections here say possibly to extend to the end of 2020, says Billy. Yeah, I actually, do you know what? I would be very surprised if we, from what people were saying, I listen to everyone, you know, the good, the bad, the ugly, the mad. And basically what they're saying is that this isn't something that's going to go away anytime soon. It's basically going to last quite a while, because when we are let out, we're going to start, the numbers will go up again. Basically what they're doing at the moment is they're trying to, let me take my hand away from the microphone, they're trying to do it so that the waves of people that are going to be going into hospital is reduced. So not everyone's going to end up hitting the hospital straight away. However, if this is a chemical weapon, which it's looking more and more like it is, then basically we've got a situation where until the chemical weapon has actually, I don't know, been neutralised, then it's something that will always come back, and it can come back to you more than once. Now, we all know that it can come back more than once, because people have reported getting it twice already. The herd immunisation isn't going to work on that basis. The vaccines got no chance. You can't vaccinate against this. So it's, yeah, I've been talking to a few different people, and I actually have the feeling that this lockdown is something that is going to go on for quite a long time. No zombies. I told you, Bill. No zombies. But the thing to remember is that I think it's going to make us work smarter. It's going to change the way that we work completely. I think that there's going to be, and I put this on Twitter, a pre-virus and post-virus world. And I'm going to have to go back into the conservatory because she is going absolutely mental. And she's knackering herself out trying to hover by the window calling me to go back in. So follow me. We're going to have to go back in, which means I'm going to have a bird attacking me as soon as I do. Hold on. What do you like? Oh, hold on. Zombie apocalypse is on the way. No, it's not. Carbon levels and climate change. Well, here's a good thing. There you go. Told you. Hello, honey. Can everyone go and share? Because I didn't manage to share this at all. There you go. Zerps, you're on TV. You're on TV, but you can't see yourself on the laptop, can you? No, you can't. Yeah, basically what I was saying was we're going to have a pre and post virus world, I think, and it's not going to be something that we can do anything about. There's a lot of people saying about this is a way of controlling the masses, but actually this is a way of safeguarding the masses. If they didn't care, they'd let us die from it. That's the thing to remember. And they would have let out the fact that it was something that's not just quite a virus at a later date after lots and lots of people have died. So the fact they're locking us down, she's stealing the show already. The fact that they've locked us down actually shows that they are doing what's best for us. I know that people were saying that it's a way of limiting our rights and taking away the First Amendment or our human rights to be able to go out and die. But in actual fact, I think that the powers that be have called this right. Yeah, I know. It's lipstick. No, I know. You can't wear it. She misses me. She's no longer sitting on her eggs. That's why she's so loving at the moment. So, but yeah, it's difficult. It's really difficult because there's lots of different ideas out there about what it's doing and how it's working, and basically how it's going to change the world, how it's going to make us work. I mean, what's it doing? It's bringing in everything that we've been saying is going to be coming this year. I mean, how many people have actually sat down and listened to me, Scotty even, talking about the technology and how it's going to change how we work. The fact that we're going to go into a cashless society, and that that digital currency is going to be the way forward. And everyone went, no, I can't get rid of cash. What are you talking about? I'll never let go of my cash. How many shops aren't taking cash right now? Card only. Using cash is a thing of the past, because it's never going to be the same ever again. Which, when you think about it, is that a good thing or a bad thing? I'm not sure. Only time will tell. But this is what I say to everyone. When it comes down to it, how much of your salary, oh my God, hair bear. How much of your salary do you actually take out every single month? Or do you use your card? Using cash is a dirty word. Yes, it is. Yeah, Darren. But it's something that we knew was coming. It just, we didn't realise it was going to come so soon. We're watching history. We thought it was going to take 10 years to do. This is going to come in this year. The only thing I will rail against is the chip. I have no interest in having a chip. I have no interest in having the vaccine. And howdy, digital asset conductor. And basically, it's one of those things where I think that it's going to be proven pretty damn soon that the illness is not the virus, and that it's something a little bit more sinister. And the powers that be know it. They know it because it's hitting our armies as well. Apparently, there's some. I think they said there's a French aircraft carrier. It wouldn't be an English one because we haven't got any, but a French aircraft carrier. Your face will be your chip. Can't afford it. Can't avoid it. Yeah, crypto investor, absolutely. But it is now anyway. I mean, how many people use the facial identity to get off me to get into their phone? You know, I use facial ID to open my apps, my bank, my everything, basically. You know, it's something that I'm all for it. You know, you've got your thumbprint ID, you've got your facial ID. Well, what if you have to do that? 2 forms of physical proof before you can access your wallets. How good would that be? How safe would you feel? I definitely would. Having that as an option is something that I would definitely go for. You know, I've got some of the apps already on my phone that needs facial ID to open. So why wouldn't that be a thing of the future? Why do we need a chip? Unfortunately, what I'm looking at right now on my phone, that's my chip. That's the tracking device. I've turned off all the Bluetooth and the... Oh, hold on. You lot better come with me because we are going to do something special. No, get off me. Come with me. It's 8 o'clock and it's time. Time to clap. Time to clap. Come on, mother. Okay, people. This is what the UK does on a Thursday. She's running. Come on, mother. Come on, guys, clap with me. We've got America clapping. We're live on YouTube. Hi, everybody. We can't wait to get rockets. And this is how the UK celebrates our NHS. Basically, this is how we say thank you to all the NHS people. We stand outside our doors at 8 o'clock every Thursday and we clap them. And that's the end. We have a firework that goes up. Right, and there you go. That's the highlight of our week. That's when everybody comes out and says hello. to everybody else in their road and say and wave. See you next week. I'm shopping tomorrow if anyone needs anything. You're welcome. Still wearing it? Good. Cool. Anyone needs anything, put something through the door, I'll pick it up and drop it outside your door tomorrow. No. I'll buy you what you want, not what you don't want. Bless. Sorry. I forgot it was Thursday today. Well, I forgot that it was 8 o'clock Thursday, NHS time. The days all run into each other. You know what day it is, but you forget what you've got booked because you've got nothing booked. In the scheme of things, it's very small, but it's bringing back community in such a large way. I know. Oh, I gotcha. Bless her. Oh. So, come on, girlie. Get down on my hand. Okay. So yeah, we're in an amazing situation now where everything that I wanted to happen is happening. So that's the silver lining to the terrible situation that everybody's in. Community is coming back. People are choosing to be together, even though we've got to stay far apart. Never thought of doing this sort of thing in a million years if we weren't in this situation, if we weren't on the lockdown. So, there's positives that you can bring to everything, and that for me is the biggest positive, is being able to stand and talk and share with your neighbours in a way that you never really did before. And I've already got, I think it's 4 lots of orders. Get off my ears. For the neighbours for shopping tomorrow after work. So that's my little bit that I do, because I can't go and work at any of the NHS or volunteer or anything like that, because I can't put myself at risk, because that puts my mum at risk. Ow, that hurts my ears. So yeah, I mean, basically I just wanted to come on and say hi and touch base. I need to do a proper talk, but I'm hoping that basically I'm going to do that with Scotty on Love for Crypto. I think we're going to get together and have a good old chinwag about how we see this changing the world and how things are going to be post-virus. I don't think it's ever going to go back to the way that it was. Not my eyes. I can't see, I mean, logically, as soon as the ban is lifted, are people going to go running out to go into pubs, clubs and restaurants? I think some will. I think that some of those pubs, clubs and restaurants are going to be filing for bankruptcy. Ow! Boris is fine. He's coming back to work. He's recovered. He's recovered. And he's turned around and said that he had to go into intensive care, and he had intensive medical interaction, and basically they saved his life. He was on a life and death situation. This wasn't a light situation for him to be in. So I'm glad he's back. I'm so glad he was the Prime Minister. Same as I'm glad it was Trump and not Clinton. I'm glad it was Boris and not the steptoe man, because our idiot Labour leader has got some very nefarious friends, and people seem to coincidentally have a bad memory where this is concerned on the sorts of people that he classes as his friends, which shows the sort of person that he is. But you know, that's for another time. I'm all about choices. Tony, just been waved at and clapped to driving my lorry on the A10 Kings Lynn. Makes me proud to be British. Is the UK giving you stimulus to help us guys through it? Hey Alicia, yes. Anybody that's been furloughed basically is on 80% wages up to 25,000 a year, I think it is. And people who are self-employed can claim and will be paid out from June. But obviously, Crypto Justin just got back in from clapping outside. So real. Yeah, I just took you all out with me. Yeah, so basically it's one of those things where there is help there. There is a stimulus there to see you through. But in the reality, what's going to happen? I mean, think about it logically. We've got a situation where people can't work, so they are going to be paid to stay at home. We've got restaurants who've lost their patrons, who still have to pay their rents and taxes and everything like that. So basically, they're coming back to a lot of debt, and they've got to sit down and work out whether or not it's going to be worth it, because, you know, the first few months that we get to leave the house, I can't see that a lot of people are going to be rushing out to be with other people. I can see lots of house parties. I see lots of garden parties and street parties maybe. Get off me. But it's one of those things that I don't think it's ever going to go back. I think shops are going to find a different way of working. You know, the local supermarkets looks like they're going to go to online orders and be able to physically go and pick up those orders, so you don't actually walk into the shop. So you're going to have to think about what you buy. So there's not going to be this impulse buying. Knock-on effect of that is marketing's going to change. Knock-on effect of that is that maybe the way that the marketing works is then blockchained, like Scott's been talking to for a long time, that they have to pay you to use your information. We can have a situation where, well, obviously food is going to, you know, fresh food is something that we've got a problem with, because we can't get the normal people that usually come over to collect the crops and everything like that, the seasonal workers, they can't come. They've just put 150, I think it was Bulgarians or something, on a plane and brought them over to help with some of it. That's not I think it's 60,000 that we need. They're not going to be able to travel. They're not going to want to travel. They're going to want to stay with their families. You've got a situation where that's going to mean that we're not going to be going to our supermarkets to get our food, our fresh food. Supermarkets are not going to be able to get the fresh food in at the prices that they need, because funnily enough, they're going to have to pay workers proper wages, because these workers that are in this country have got a high outgoing. They can't work at less, like the people that come from abroad, from lower economies. So they're going to have to pay people a proper wage to do the job that they pay slave wages for right now, because people aren't going to be coming and staying 6 months of the year to do the work. So they're still going to have their £1,000 a month rent to pay, whichever way it goes. So that's going to make a difference. So knock-on effect of that is we are going to be going back to buying from the farmers direct. Farmers are going to be able to turn around to places like Tesco's and say, you know, you're paying me a penny a pint and you're selling it at 90p. Guess what? I'm going to sell it direct myself. So we'll go. It's going to change the way that we shop. This is just me thinking forward. Bill says it's kind of a win-win situation of sorts, cuts down on pollution, give governments time to come up with a plan to tackle its debts. Economic reset. That's all we need. The stimulus that's going to be put in by the IMF, if it's done the way that I think it is, it will increase the value enough to be able to swallow up the debt. Feathers. So yeah, so I see there's going to be big changes. You know, who's going to want to go back to work if you can work from home? Hello, XRP talk and speculation. That's exactly what I'm doing. It's thank you, Alicia. It is one of those things where if we did this right, get off me. I'll put you in your cage. No. If we did this right, and we actually start to change and live the way that we're living at the moment, and to be perfectly honest, I'm going in with lists for shopping. I'm not doing the shit shop. You know, I'm not stopping off every single day on the way home from work to get little bits and pieces, because that's not safe for me to do so. Hey SW, Officer Alahani. The IMF has only 1 trillion to loan. That's not enough to handle all the debt out there. But what if the IMF bought that 1 trillion in cryptocurrency and we hit a bull run? What will that trillion go up to? Just saying, it's a possibility. But yeah, it's one of those. I can actually see that we're going to not go back to the consumerism that we had before. You know, at the moment, if you want to get hello from Wakefield in Yorkshire, major changes ahead, more to this than meets the eye, all head into control. Yes and no, it depends. It depends on the actual control, because if it goes the way that I think it is, we've got a lot of innovation, right, coming up. A lot of innovation. It's going to put a lot of people out of work. Already at the moment, you've got a situation where the people at the checkouts, you don't need them anymore. You can check it out yourself. You can click it as you go round and pay at the end, or you can take it and you can put it through the automated. You don't have to take it to a person to put through. That's one example of how they're taking people out of shops. Then you've got a situation where you've got to have people stocking up the shelves. Well, ask Amazon, they don't have people stocking up the shelves. So, you know, it's a click and it's done on automated. So if this goes the way that they think it's going to go, leave her up there, she's out of my way. If it goes the way that I think it's going to go, then a lot of the wandering around the supermarkets and things like that is going to go out the window. You know, window shopping. Who wants to do window shopping when there's a biological weapon around? You know, even if they manage to neutralise that, China's proved that they can't be trusted. We've got thank God for that. We've got, there's an awful lot of things that could change for the good. It's not just about control. I think that what we're doing at the moment with the shutdown is for our own benefit. I honestly do. I think that, and I've said this from the beginning, they knew more, and they know more. They know an awful lot more than what they're making out. And they had an idea of what this was all about before it even got to where it did, which was why they were so prepared to do stuff about it. It was obviously something that they'd actually planned for. And, you know, that Bill Gates 2021 thing, or whatever it was, where they did the enactment of a pandemic. Just so happens that we got a pandemic quite soon after that. But I'm going to agree with Cliff High that this was a biological weapon that they didn't release on purpose. I think it managed to find its way out. Hey Cammy, how you doing, honey? Wen Mullet, driving and listening, wanted to say what up, Wen Mullet. Yeah, so it's this. There's so many different things that you can talk about. I mean, it's one of those things where pick a subject, and there's so many different permutations that could happen on that. You know, just things like, oh God, coffee shops. How many coffee shops have got to will actually open up after we're able to go back out again? How many are going to be bankrupt? So then you're left with the Starbucks of this world. And even then, these people, are you going to be wanting to go and sit in a Starbucks, queue out the door to go and get your coffee, because everybody's going to be going there because all the little ones are gone? Or are you going to have automated machines making your coffee for you, and you put your order in and then you go to a window to collect it, and you're sitting in an area, so instead of having loads of tables and things like that, you're sitting in an area where you can be secluded from other people? You know, is that going to come in, or are they going to ban it altogether, so that the amount of room that you have for a shop like that, where you have a shop like that, where you basically just go to a window to collect it, and then there's group areas, massive areas. So you've got a combination of small little shops that are going to be serving you your food, your drink and everything like that, but you're not going to be sitting in a restaurant. You're going to be sitting in a larger area to be away from everybody, so it's well spaced out, where you're not going to have that packed in feeling. I think being packed in is something that is going to be really seriously looked at now, because this is just the start. You know, once people realise just how serious this is. I was talking to a lady today who was in one of North Korea, South Korea, in January. They'd had this since November. This has been out for a lot longer than what people realise. And her son basically turned and said to her, yeah, we've got a pandemic on the way. Well, we've got a pandemic in the country. So basically there is a killing virus out there that we are, and basically what they do is every time they do anything, they wash their hands. But they've got the masks, they've got the gloves. They have the thermometers, you know, and before you go into a shop, there's somebody there, test your temperature. If you've got a temperature, you can't go anywhere. Then you have to be tested, and everyone gets tested. Anyone with a temperature gets tested for the virus. If they've got the virus, they then have to isolate themselves and stay home. And then, you know, if they get ill, then they have to go to hospital and be in quarantine. But this has been something, they've had 6 deaths. They've got 1,000 people quarantined in a country that took it seriously. So, and the lady turned around and said to me, you know, her son is actually sending her over the gloves and the masks. Because I told her, I said, well, how'd you get the masks? Because I would feel guilty buying masks because the NHS needs it. You know, why would I do that? I mean, it's almost like they make us feel guilty about wanting to wear these things, which is better for us. Everybody who leaves the house should be wearing a mask and the gloves. And then every time that you touch anything, you need to be doing the cleaning of the hands with the hand gel stuff. But you can't do that because you can't get hold of it. So you keep that gel for the special situations. I mean, I use the gel on my hands. Basically what I do is you go in and they sanitize the trolley when you go into the shopping centre or the supermarket. So they sanitize the trolley, and then I sanitize my hands, and then I can put my hands on the trolley. So if I've pushed it in there and it's got it on there, it's killed. Hopefully, don't touch my face at all. And then basically when I get out of there, out the supermarket, and get into my car, I sanitize my hands again. That is as far as I can go because I've only got a certain amount of sanitizer. and no matter where you go, can't get it. I know people that are making their own up, but I thought the IMF couldn't hold XRP into a country used it as their national currency. No, they can't. No, they can't. And nobody's done it yet. But other countries have already done cryptocurrencies. Sovereign coin, the yuan. So the Chinese one, sovereign coin was a Caribbean island, I think. So there are people that are taking it on. We just need to wait and see sort of what way it goes. But it would make sense if it was a cryptocurrency that was used, because then it's something that could one, be increased in price to bring up the liquidation, but also at the same time it means that everybody's got access to it. So all the countries, they don't have to change it into their currency and take the currency changes. They can actually just have it there ready to, and then just take it as they need it. Cami says, drove to VA today, close to the Pentagon. Restaurants were open with curbside delivery. People were eating in their cars. Everyone had masks and gloves on. In our grocery stores, it's mandatory now. But at least you've got them. I can't find any masks. I've looked. Nobody knows what the fuck is going on. Simple. Yep, Stanley. Oh, let me find that. That is absolutely right. Nobody knows exactly what's going on. We know that we're in lockdown. We know that things are going to change. Everything's going to change. You know, it doesn't matter what it is, right? Everything is going to change. The way that we shop, I don't think I'll ever go back to the way I was shopping. Would you? You know, I realised how much money I wasted buying stuff that I didn't really need and didn't really want. So I think that it's going to, I think there's a lot of changes coming on the back of this. Honestly, it's, pick an industry. I mean, financial services, I can work at home. Why on earth would I want to go back to working 9 to 5 in an office if I can work from home? You know, once I get my place and I get my office set up, it's going to be so much easier. So why on earth would you want to do a commute into work? Who would want to go back into London? There is no normal left to go back to now. Totally right, Sam. Honestly, I'm looking at, it's not so much fear. People aren't afraid anymore. Hey, Khan Solo. It's people are accepted. There's an acceptance, and it's almost like people are starting to realise that they're not just waiting for this to go away, that things are actually going to change. Khan Solo, I'm a bartender in London. Oh, hun. Yeah. Do you still have your job? Are you still able to go back to work after this is all over? Or bang out of order in Tesco's, leaving self-service open with their dirty screens, and at the same time having barriers between each self-service? Yeah, I know. Khan says, I'm nervous about going back to work as people will inevitably rush back and get pissed en masse. I think you'll find that some will. I don't think you'll find as many as you think. I think the younger generation think that they are invincible, and but people my age, I'll be very surprised at people my age, 40s and 50s, if they go rushing out to mingle with people as well again yet, because I'm basically going to be, let me just close her cage, I'm going to be still isolating for quite some time after it's open, because I think that they're going to give the go-ahead that we can leave the house again, and then I think it's going to raise its ugly head again, and then they're going to pull us back in. And all they're doing at the moment is they are keeping it low so that the NHS can catch up, and then basically after a while they let us back out. If this is a bioweapon, there's nothing that's going to stop it, right? So basically, if it's and it is a bioweapon. I mean, in all intents and purposes, every single person that I've watched, they've turned around and said that the proteins match other stuff. There's no way that this could have come from bats. China lied so badly about it, but didn't actually. They might have lied about where it started from, but they didn't actually shore up the backup story to actually prove it. Khan's getting furloughed, using the money to stack more XRP. Good for you. Ball's going to have a house party, and Crypto Justin is working from home as much as he can. Again, it's I would not want to go back to working in an office 9 till 5 Monday through to Friday ever again. I think that I've proven that I go into work because I go there to be on my own, to be honest. But if once I'm back living on my own and I've got my house set up and my office set up and everything, I wouldn't want to. Why would I? You know, I can set up from home quite easily. I'm more effective when I'm working from home. It did come from bats, but I reckon it came from the lab first. What they did was they took the bat's coronavirus and merged that with a MERS, and then they weaponized it. It is a bioweapon. It's not gonna, you can't be vaccinated against it. And it can't move from bats to humans. So somebody actually weaponized it to make it do that. So it's, yeah. Watch Cliff High, he goes into it in a really intricate way. I could not explain the way that he done it, but he's got me convinced, put it that way. So he's, don't forget, he's the guy that's got the AI. He's got the AI computer that basically looks at everything across the whole internet and the dark web. And he basically has turned around and said, you know, he's had it confirmed. What they did, and this is how he knows that the Chinese didn't do this on purpose, the moment that they realised that the virus was out, is they put a lockdown on all of their armies and their navy. And then what they did was they sent into all of the camps or encampments or whatever it is that they've got, they just put loads and loads of vitamin C, because vitamin C helps you to stop getting it. But you have to take, I think he was saying it was 30 milligrams per kilo. I know that it worked out, because I'm about 85 kilos, it worked out about 2,000, just under 2,300 milligrams that I'd have to have per day of vitamin C. And then he goes into how much zinc that you would need to take as well. But vitamin C and zinc, which I've said since the beginning, because zinc is good with colds and flus and things like that, but there's other stuff that it does. Again, you'd have to go and look it up. I'm not very good at explaining these sorts of things, but vitamin C is a good booster for the immune system, and whatever it does, high doses of vitamin C helps again to stop this from you catching or it having an effect on you. So yeah, you know, go watch Cliff High. He did one today, and it's really interesting, really interesting. The guy is, I mean, he's a critical thinker, but he knows his stuff and he researches everything, and he dropped names. You know, to be honest, he dropped names of people in China that had confirmed certain things for him. So, you know, I'm inclined to believe him than a government that, if it be let out that they had dropped this into population, we would be calling for war, or, you know, at least something to be done against China, when in actual fact this was a mistake. But also, you know, do we really want to start World War III? I mean, I know that what's going on is bad at the moment, but is it bad enough to start a World War III? I don't think it is. I don't think it is. I think that they've, to be perfectly honest, I think China's fucked themselves over really badly because one, nobody trusts them anymore. Two, we've got an embargo. People aren't buying Chinese goods. It's proven that we can't trust them, so why would we want to order goods from them? So their takeover of the world through the manufacturing side of things, that's gone. No one's going to do that. You know, it's that's finished. They've literally sealed. They've put a nail in their coffin, you know, and sealed their fate with what they've done. It's the after effects of what has happened now is going to be far worse on China than anything that any other country could do for them, because they literally are going to not be the export kings of the world anymore. I would imagine that there's an awful lot of stuff that their manufacturing is going to go to shit, because people just won't buy, and they prove they're not reliable, and they prove that they are working against humanity, because bioweapons are not supposed to happen. I think that their humanitarian record is also dire, and I don't know why anybody's been looking the other way to try and keep them sweet. All it's done is empowered them to do what they want to do, rather than sitting on them rather heavily. We did it with Iran, why can't we do it with China? You know, yeah, there's big changes. I mean, I've seen that a couple of different goods made outside of China would cost a lot more. Yeah, absolutely. You going to go out and buy stuff from China knowing what they've done? I'm not. Not a chance. They've got 3 million of their own people sitting in detention centres, camps, internments, like the Nazis. They do it to themselves. They actually do it to their own people. They have a really terrible track record. And so far, not one person has actually said anything about the fact that the 2 people that came out and warned the world against this because China was still lying, and actually said, you know, we've got a massive problem with the pandemic in China, they're both dead. Think on that one. They're both dead, and not one person said anything about it. No. Not right. Not right at all. Harvesting organs. Yeah, I saw it was investigative journalist who did again another one that did a thing on the virus, and he's been investigating. Well, he's been investigating stuff in China for 7 years, and he said the human rights stuff that the laws that they break is ridiculous, and the fact that they are actually at the table in is it the United Nations or the Human Rights Committee or whatever it is, they're at the table, and that's like Saudi Arabia being invited to it, and we kicked up a stink about them. But basically the whole point on that was that this journalist actually tracked it back and said patient 0 wasn't even in Wuhan, right? Nowhere near Wuhan. Definitely didn't work in the fish market that they don't sell bats on. So, you know, all the little stories that they came out, the little lies that they've been caught out. They're done. But nobody's calling them on it. Hopefully that's just a yet. No one's calling them on it yet. Manufacturing retooling will take a long time too. Will it? Will it really? Manufacturing contracts for goods that must be fulfilled. Really again? What's China going to do? I think they broke their contract the moment that they bioengineered a weapon. So, you know, I can't see them coming after any companies because they didn't pay them or fulfill their contract. You know, there's a couple of different people, one that I know of in the UK and one in America, that they're suing them for bioengineering a weapon that has been used against humanity, right? And we're talking about trillions. Manufacturing is the least of their worries at the moment because they have been registered in court already. suing for 20 trillion. I think that's the one in America, yeah. 20 trillion. I think it was 3.5 or something like that for, I can't remember, for the UK. But again, just highlights that somebody somewhere is paying attention. But it's is it ever going to be anything that somebody does anything about? Because are they too big? What they've been doing is they've kept their men safe. They've actually been safe. So their armies are good to go. Are ours? Are our guys dying the same way? So, you know, effectively. Hey Angie, how you doing? Effectively, what they've done is they've probably got the superior force right now. The world as we know it will change forever, that's for sure. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. And I am going to have to go because I have been here for nearly an hour and my phone's just about to die. But thank you for joining me. There's 12 people in the room. Anyone that hasn't smashed that thumb up, please do so on your way out. And yeah, I hope you stay safe wherever you are around the world. We need to bring some more positive vibes into the world, into the communities, into our little community, you know, and try and be as positive as we can. Look for the silver linings and everything. Try and make it so that we concentrate on the good stuff, not the bad stuff, because when we concentrate on the bad stuff, the whole world's vibration reduces, and we need to keep that vibration up. Sorry, Anne, I'm just about to die. I've just had my notification that I'm on low battery. The way to bring them to their knees is monetarily. Yeah, just got to stop buying their stuff. Khan says that he refuses to travel to China, doesn't want to have any of your details. When am I going live again, Boo? Well, I always say that do you know what? I'll do it tomorrow. I'll try and get a little bit more organised. I'd only just got in. I still can't work out how to do the live stream on the laptop because of the new fucking dashboard that they brought up. So I'm on my phone and I forgot to do it so that it's horizontal rather than vertical. I'll keep her in her cage so that she doesn't attack me tomorrow. And yeah, I'll try and make it a better presentation and a bit more interactive. And I'll give everybody an hour's heads up. How's that? So that so you can know that I'm coming on. Perfect. Right. So I'm going to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night wherever you are in the world. Stay safe. Take that vitamin C. Take that zinc. Stay away from anybody. Only go out when you actually have to. And stay happy. Okay, take care. Bye bye bye. Night everyone.